What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday to those people that already have closed on their damn house and live comfortably in whatever town it may be in. Because we sure haven't. I'll let Munchkin explain because she can do a better. You don't have to give any numbers, but you can tell what happened. How about that?
Okay.
Yes.
I've explained this so many times
Hey, Bill.
already. It makes my
Eric
blood pressure
Linda.
rise. All right, y'all. So we're doing a VHDA, FHA VHDA transaction, where VHDA basically gives you a second mortgage that pays for your down payment, right? Well, they asked for my savings account statement because they wanted to see that I got my taxes back for 2022. Well, I transferred it into my savings account. So my January statement is not available yet. So I did a printout of like the transaction ledger, right? So I sent it to them. And then a couple hours later, I got an email back that said, okay, we need gift letters from Steve and your mom. And I'm like, okay. So I got those. Everything was fine. We were 2 days away from closing. So this is Monday. And I'm like, okay, well, obviously they didn't disclose on Friday, so we must not be able to close on Wednesday. We'll push it to Thursday because if they disclose on Monday, we can close Thursday because they got to give you 3 days. They got to disclose 3 days ahead of time. I had all the numbers worked out to be exactly where they needed to be. It was several $1,000s below what they initially said we'd have to bring going through a different program. So I was excited because great, that means we have the money to buy the furniture we need and we have the money to pay for the moving expenses because we've got to have this place professionally cleaned, we have to have the carpets professionally cleaned, and we have to have the chimney cleaned, right? So I was like, that's fantastic. We got extra money. We're going to be good to go. Everything's going to be great. So then I get a phone call from the loan officer saying that there's a problem. That VHDA has come back and said that my reserve funds can't be gifted. And I'm like, what do you mean? You guys had me sign the gift letter. So basically what happened was when they got my savings account statement, they didn't bother looking to see that the large deposit that was made was done in October, so it was already seasoned and didn't even need to be looked at all, right? And on top of that, nobody bothered to ask me where did these funds come from, which the answer would have been, well, me and Steve are buying the house together, so it's commingled funds. We just put it in one account, right? Nobody asked. They just asked for the gift letter, and me being the obedient person that I am, that has been told, you make sure you sign all your documents quickly and get them back to us so we don't delay anything, did that immediately. Well, lo and behold, you can't do that. So now we don't qualify for VHDA, right? Don't qualify for VHDA. The VHDA underwriter refused to unsee that document, even though it was a mistake and clearly they were not gift funds. He's still going to be on title, even though he wasn't going to be on the loan. It's obvious they were not gifted, right? No, they refused to toss that document out and pretend that it never happened. So now we got to go through FHA, straight FHA. So I've been waiting, trying to figure out what do the numbers look like. All the loan officer keeps telling me is it'll work out, it'll be fine. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Well, actually, he hasn't told me what he's gonna do. He's just saying it'll work out. I'm not getting any response from his people when I email them and ask questions. Nobody's answering me. An email was sent yesterday at 9:55 a.m. about getting me information for another homeowners insurance company to see if we can get um, coverage that's a little bit cheaper so we won't have to show up with as much cash to close, right? Nobody's fucking called me back. That was at 9:55 yesterday morning. I've sent like 4 emails going, "Hey guys, I haven't heard anything yet." No one's reached out to me. Does anybody have this lady's phone number? Something? Nothing. Nothing. Right? Nothing. Um so I sent a um not mean email today. Steve read it. I forwarded it to him before I sent it. Um, basically said, I stopped short of saying, "What the fuck? You need to fix this," because switching to this program is going to cost us $3,000. It's just poof, gone. It's gone. And that is best case scenario. That is only if we have to come to the table with our 3.5%. Okay. The way he has the figures showing right now, it is about, I don't know, $5,000 more than that, which I don't have. We don't have that. We don't have that.
Yeah, they want us to bring like $12,000 to close.
Yeah, he said,
"Good luck with that."
"Well, you just told me that you had 10,000 in your account." I was like, "I do." But do you not recall when you told me that 5,000 of that was just looking at money? That I just needed it to be there, that I wouldn't need it for closing. It just needed to be in my account. Well, it is. That's looking at money. That's not spending money because I got to give that back. That's not. So this is what I have. This is all I have. And even in that situation, you're still costing me $3,000. That's what was going to happen with the VHDA one. They can't loan me more than the house is worth. So after having, he called me back, and he was like, "Just trust me." And I'm like, I did. You told me everything was going to be fine last time, and everything blew up in my face 2 days prior to closing for a mistake y'all made.
I mean, I guess
Well,
the only
somebody
way.
told us it was gift funds. I'm like, no, nobody told you it was gift funds. Somebody over there made an assumption, and that assumption is costing me $3,000.
There you go. Whoever assumed it was gift funds, and I don't even see, I'm new to all this. I don't know nothing about gift
I've
letters and stuff.
been doing this for 24 years, and I didn't know that reserve funds couldn't be gifted.
Yeah, well, but that's the whole thing. They weren't gifted. It was never
Exactly.
supposed to be that. So why'd they make us sign a gift letter? We're just going by what they told us to do. And, Munchkin knows all about this real estate way more than I do. So I
I
figured.
don't know about that part. I don't do the loans. I don't work for a mortgage company. I do the title part. I can make the numbers work. I can get all of that stuff done just fine.
Now, if I thought for a minute that this gift letter was going to be an issue, I wouldn't have signed it. I did not realize that it was a problem. I thought that that's what they needed to show, hey, there's actual money.
Yeah, that's where that money came from. Now, I've had several instances before where they have a spouse who's not on the loan that is the one that contributes the money for closing, where they've signed a gift letter. So it wasn't out of ordinary to me. It was not something that made me stop and pause. But all they had to do was ask.
Yep.
Or even this, when they got the statement that I printed, and hey, we only need January.
Hey, we'll fly.
We don't need to go back to October. Can you reprint this and only show January? But they didn't do that. So I think the part that pisses me off the most is not that they messed up, because people make mistakes. I get that. It is it's too late, Wally. Even if we did that VHDA, those documents are tied to my name, to my social, to that case number, right? That's all it is. So
terminate everything and start over. We have 7 days, Eric.
Yeah, we got 7 days.
If
And after that, it's up to the seller if they want to give us any further extensions.
yeah,
But keep in mind, we also have to get everything out of this house and hire all these professionals to come in and clean all this shit, which I need to book them like next week, or I'm not going to be able to get them here to do the stuff in time.
yeah, and professional cleaning costs a lot of money. I don't know why we have to have the chimney professionally cleaned. They're supposed to come look at redoing the deck, which, mind you, they wouldn't redo the deck while we lived here, but now that we're moving out, they want to redo the deck.
I'm
Freaking
wondering
figures.
if he's thinking about selling it.
Well, you know those spots that they fixed in the floor that were kind of bowing? There's either they didn't fix it all or there's more spots now.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to go back and redo that too.
How many fires have we had? I'd say in 6 years, maybe 20. But I asked her about that, and she said that they don't do that for gas fireplaces, but they do for wood fireplaces, which is what we have. So that part's going to be anywhere from 125 to 175.
This
That
fireplace, I'm pretty sure has gas.
It is not gas.
Doesn't it have the valve thing on the side?
No, that's a damper.
No,
There's
I
a
thought I
fan.
saw it in the floor. Maybe I'm
No.
wrong.
No, there is not gas.
Okay.
I'm anti-gas fireplaces. That's
80 mile an hour winds. Yeah, don't fly in that, John Wayne.
No.
Jesus.
So even if we terminated everything and started over, I don't know how long VHDA keeps my shit on file. So VHDA is out. Any grants we could get for down payment assistance is out. Is just out because they're all through VHDA. So we wouldn't be able to do that. But again, the part that makes me the maddest, right, is the fact that I picked my loan officer specifically because I've worked with him for many, many years. I've done a lot of transactions for him. I have bent over backwards to make sure that his shit closes on time and is always correct. Okay.
So then they
Every
screw
single
us.
fucking time. I expected to get a little bit more personal service. I expected my loan officer to know every single document. Dolores, no, he's not. He's actually going to end up paying for this out of his own fucking pocket.
Hey, Breeze.
I don't really want to say it live, but because I technically can't. But I have it in writing for him that he's going to make us as whole as he can, which is most likely going to come out of his wallet.
Yeah.
Well, underwriters, it's their job to find any reason not to loan you money. No, it's not greed. It comes down to somebody wasn't paying attention, and they just sent it without
Scott.
fucking looking at it, right? And it's costing me money. Like I said, I've been doing this since 1998. That's 24 years. I've never cost anybody $3,000 just because one piece of fucking paper.
$3,000 mistake. Oh, there's Bandit. Well, hello, missing kitty.
I told you they're around.
Still haven't seen Smokey though. The cats. Okay, the children moved out today, so her daughter and son-in-law and the kids are gone. It's just me and Munchkin here now, which is awesome. But, and they keep going, well, why aren't y'all moving stuff? We have nowhere to take it.
Right.
We haven't closed on the house. We can't go anywhere. So it's like,
Well, $3,000 is the money that it's going to cost to get all this place clean. Because the professional cleaning is anywhere from $355 to $500. A chimney cleaning is about $175, and then I got a quote for carpets for $255.
Yeah, that doesn't even count the moving truck and the movers.
And then the rest of the money was going to be spent on our island, my kitchen table, and the effectively, Dolores, yes. Now, granted, we have money, so we could go get an apartment or rent somewhere else, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to do this again because that means even more time I got to spend saving up fucking money.
Yeah, and we'd have to find another house, and then wow, and we'd be out some money that we've already paid to have the other
Yeah,
house inspected.
$1,000 for the home inspection and the appraisal. That's gone. That would be gone.
Yeah.
Um,
Not to mention to have some pissed off sellers, but it's not our fault, which I'm pretty sure the agent knows that. You know, I don't know what they get told, but it's not our fault that this is happening.
oh, our agent knows because I told her.
Yeah.
I don't know how much she shared with the other side, but I have no. Yeah, well, you say that, Deja, but we're still getting the notifications from the agents. I haven't seen one fucking house that's popped up in our price range that I would move to.
Yeah, they're all crap.
Yeah,
And our
as
interest
as
rate
in
went up also, which was supposed to
yeah.
be locked in, but he had to change it and make it higher for some reason.
Well, because he increased our interest rate from 6.5 to 6.625, but dropped off a $1,500 underwriting fee.
Okay.
So our payment's going to go up by $10, but there's $1,500 we don't have to pay. Now, what he says is that there are a lot of changes that he can make. However, he can't start doing that until the file is out of underwriting, which it went into full underwriting today as a rush. I've worked with this lender before. The system they use to deal with me is archaic, and I absolutely fucking detest it. But they do know what they're doing. I've never had any problems with them. I just don't like working with them. He says he can make it right. He told me what he's going to do, what he's going to attempt to cut. And I've made sure he was aware in no uncertain terms. This is all the money I have. Full
Right.
stop. That's it. That's all we got right there. This is it.
Yeah, we don't need any more surprises. We've had plenty. I'm over the surprises. It's like, let's just get this done and
And
over
you know,
with.
is all of this for a house that I don't even love?
Yeah. That's the truth.
I got it in writing, Dom Long.
Yeah.
He will make it happen.
Yeah, if he can't make it happen, we're gonna walk away from the house because I mean we may be out some money, but then we'll just have to wait for the house that we really want, which we haven't seen any. They have been giving I literally get probably 4 emails a day listing houses for sale. None of them are worth a damn, or the ones that are downtown Newport News, like 23rd Street.
Yeah.
And
Bad
no, I mean, I don't want to get shot at on a daily basis. I'm good. So that's
yeah,
not
the
happening.
houses look really nice. They're brand new, but you could literally lean out your window and touch the crack house right next to it. Yeah.
Yeah, right down to the wire cloud. It is our deja vu. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed that he was not paying enough attention to what his people were doing to not have caught
Yeah.
that.
That was a simple mistake that could have been avoided that cost a lot of time and money to not only us but their company and everybody else.
And I
it.
get it. People make mistakes. I make mistakes all the fucking time, right? I don't want the house we're in right now, Eric.
Yeah, we're in a townhouse. No.
Yeah, he would have to replace the floor, the entire deck, every single fucking window, the HVAC, all of that, and he's not going to do that. And I don't want this house.
Yeah.
It is a big mistake, and it's over one sheet of paper. So, you know, I get it. I understand shit happens. I've made mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes before.
I don't know, Dolores.
But I own it.
We're going to find out. I mean, it's either going to happen or it's not. I mean, literally, we cannot go past the 10th of March. There is no, unless the seller extends it.
The seller has to agree to it.
Yeah. Will, good video, by the way, if you're still around. Good info in that video. I like that type of stuff. I mean, if people can learn from watching a paramotor video instead of just, hey, I'm flying around in circles, then yeah, I like videos like that.
Yeah, I mean, when I make a mistake, I own it. Not that sorry makes a fucking difference, you know what I mean? But, and loan officer keeps saying it's not your fault. I know fucking it's not my fault. I know damn well it's not my fault. And he's like, I'm gonna investigate it and find out. There's always a contingency on financing, Eric. There's an automatic 10-day extension in the contract and all the contracts for
Yep.
financing and clearing title issues.
Yeah, we were supposed to close on the 1st, so yeah, the 10-day contingency goes in after that. So the 10th of March is the
We got till
last day,
Friday.
unless the seller decides to extend it, which I don't think the seller's too hip on that, because they literally had this house listed for more than it appraised for. So they're trying to get every dime they can out of the house. I can't see that
I
happening.
don't think they'll want to extend. Do I think they will? Yes, because they don't want to start over again.
How are your
Deja,
nerves?
my nerves are fucking shot. All right. I am so stressed out right now. It's not even funny. I'm so angry. I'm like beyond the bursting into tears, having a mental breakdown. I'm like just vibrating with anger at this point in time.
Oh, Will, check out this shirt. Yeah.
I don't even know what to do with myself. I'm so mad.
You know, that's like the chemical that we have to use flying paramotors. I'm just saying. Except it's WD-40, but this is R2D40.
But it is, I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do. When he called me on the phone, I'm like, you know me, and you know I'm a control freak, right? I don't see in front of me how you're going to fix this, because everything that I can see tells me that this is not doable.
Fire
And
up the
he has
Keurig.
assured me and promised me that it will be fixed and that he knows. I just need to let him do his work, and that everything he needs to do will be done once it comes out of underwriting. He said that his boss is involved. He's aware of what happened, that he knows, that he has told everybody how important I am and how serious this is, that it gets fixed and properly, and that his reputation is at stake. No, but promises in writing do, and I have it in writing. I'm not a dummy. Not to mention, this guy is one of our very best clients. Like I said, I've been working with him for several years and bend over backwards for him. If he doesn't fix this, that will stop quickly.
Well, I thought I was going to get a link so people could get this shirt, but it literally didn't come up in the list. Or I'd have to look for it really hard, and I don't want to do that. It would take too long.
You know, and I see what you mean, Deja. And I told Steve the same thing earlier. His reputation is already damaged, but it's not him; it's his team.
Yeah, it wasn't him. It was some lady that works for him that assumed the money was a gift.
When he left the mortgage company that he was at, right, and went to work for a mortgage broker instead, and he took his assistant with him. So I believe the person that fucked up was somebody that was already at that company and wasn't somebody that he had chosen to work with. So in order for me to feel better about his services, I'm going to have to see him do a lot more closings with this particular team and not fuck them up. Until then, I will not be recommending anybody to him. No.
That damn bot is broken. I figured after he lost, I would definitely win.
I do not want to move to Missouri, but I appreciate your offer, Dolores.
Yeah, Missouri, that's kind of far.
Deja. Yeah.
If we could go to North Carolina and get away with it, that wouldn't be too bad, just because there's a lot of people that fly in North Carolina.
I mean, I've worked with the guy for a long time, and I've never seen anything go this bad. So I just, yeah.
Oh, now Cloud Chucker won. Wow. It's weird because you want to get stuff for the new house, which I already have. But then again, the stuff we bought, we don't even know if we're going to get the house at this point. You thought, you would think after they go, okay, everything's cool, we're rolling with this, contracts all signed, you get a ratified contract, everything's going smooth, and
It's
then
just
bam,
silliness, Will.
let's throw a bunch of sticks in the work.
Just games to play.
Yeah, the coins are nothing. I used to have a different bot that would do the coins thing, but they decided to stop. They shut that bot down. That was, you could get off the internet. Now it's gone. So, Dire Thing, one of our viewers, actually wrote the program to do the coins. So yeah, he just gave you 10,000 coins or Scuba bucks, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, Dire Thing just has them listed as coins. I think I had them listed as Scuba bucks, but yeah.
Right, Wally?
The flying in Pennsylvania is a go. Nice, Eric. Nice. Well, Pennsylvania is not that bad. I don't remember what the dates were on that, but yeah. Considering the way things are going, my first flight may be in Georgia if I can't fly here before.
I don't even know how the hell we're gonna afford to go to Georgia for a fucking week.
That's true too. But I mean, I can't miss my boss's funeral. I can't miss that. That would devastate Dean and it would just devastate them if I didn't show up. They'd be pissed, I'd say. I mean, I could say we couldn't afford to come, but I don't know how that would go over.
Well, it ain't fucking free. I'm not sleeping in a damn truck.
No, we won't be sleeping in any truck.
My juice is downstairs in my purse.
We'll figure something out. It's I'm just so mad about the whole house thing. We're supposed to already be gone. Did I say gun?
You did.
I'm thinking about shooting somebody.
Yeah, all these boxes in my way should be over at the new house, sitting there waiting for us to arrange for, well, moving more shit over there.
I am disappointed, Deja Vu. It was a stupid mistake that could have been prevented. I had no idea about it. Like I said, I had no idea about this gift letter. And the VHDA, you can talk to them till your lips turn blue.
You can't talk to them. We can't talk to them. We're not allowed to speak to the underwriter.
Right. So we can't even say, hey, this wasn't a gift, dude. This money was been there since last year. It's not, it wasn't like, oh, here's some money so you can close on a house.
Have y'all ever read Dante's Inferno? So I'm convinced there's a separate layer of hell, right? There's another circle.
A gift
that's
letter
populated with nothing but fucking underwriters.
CDC, a gift letter means basically I signed a gift letter saying, hey, I gave Munchkin this amount of money. And the way that the underwriter looks at it is she may have to pay that back someday. So they think that if you gave her that money, then she cannot use that money as reserves in order to buy the house.
Kinda. The gift letter says, I gave her this money and she does not have to repay it. It was a gift.
Yeah, there you go.
The reason reserves cannot be gifted is because you are supposed to come up with that money on your own, right? Yeah. Okay. That's what it is. However, we only signed the fucking gift letter because they told me to sign the fucking gift letter. I did not know that reserves couldn't be gifted. Nobody ever mentioned that. Nobody said, send me your savings account statement for January only. Nobody said, hey, this deposit you have in October, what was that? Oh, well, that was the money Steve gave me. Was it a gift? No, not really, because he was buying the house with me. Those are our commingled funds. You know, the way our accounts are set up, I'm operating, he's petty cash. We saved everything in petty cash, then moved it over to operating for the closing, right? Nobody asked that. If they would have said, oh, okay, well then, yeah, we don't need a gift letter.
You're right about that too, Dire Thing. But now they look at it a lot more hardcore.
Well, that's before all these lenders started loaning money to people that couldn't afford shit.
Yeah.
And see, Dolores, there's pluses and minuses to rent. If it was just me, I'd probably rent. I don't need that much space. I don't want to have to make repairs. Somebody else will do it. I just pay my rent and go on. Right?
Hey, Angela.
But there's more than just me. And I also want to keep my pets and not have to deal with people coming in and do it because they do inspections here. They want you to have extra money in your account just in case you lose your job. You can still make your payment for a couple months.
That's what that is, CDC. Reserve is basically money that you have saved away in case you lose your job, you can still make your house payment.
Yeah, because who the fuck's got that shit anymore, right? We're all a couple paychecks away from fucking homelessness.
There you go.
Except for Creed, but you know.
Where is Creed? I haven't seen Creed in a while.
He usually shows up in about 20 minutes. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot of people that could afford a couple missed paychecks and not be in trouble.
Yeah. So that's where we stand, guys. So right now we're just as much in limbo as everybody else, and it kind of sucks that we can't even start to move anything until we get a clear to close. I mean,
it's not going to change anything, Creed. It's not going to change anything. Yeah. Now that we're going FHA, he's back on the fucking loan again.
Yeah.
That's not going to make VHDA unsee that gift letter. They are refusing to fucking budge. My loan officer even got his underwriter, who knows a senior underwriter with VHDA, and called them to try to convince the other underwriter to just pretend it never happened, just delete it, and she is refusing. So that's not a route anymore.
It's a terrible thing.
Yeah. It's not like I can borrow the money. That's frowned upon. You can't. And even if I could and said, okay, look, I just got this money. Well, where the fuck did that come from? You know what I mean? I can't. There's. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really worried about, is there a new closing date? Yeah, the 10th, CDC, which is the last day that we can actually close without the contract being void, pretty much, unless the seller extends it. That's about it. But we can't be waiting. You know, we've already paid this month's rent for this place here, which we've already told the property owners that this is our last month. We paid for it, so we have this entire month to get out of here, clean it, move, clean the fireplace, the carpets, the whole house, professionally cleaned, and get everything moved. But the longer that they push our closing date on the other house, we can't even move anything. So it's we're going to be in a crunch where there's no way.
And I really don't think at this point in time, with a lack of communication between my agent and my loan officer, that she's going to be able to convince them to give us early possession. And I don't want to have to pay rent for them for early possession either. Oh, and here's another thing. The utilities are already turned on, so I'm paying to heat a house I'm not even fucking in. Katie sent me a video of her apartment, so I'm looking at it.
Okay, Vector has heard something. Vector's talking. I'm sorry. Hush, robot. Yeah, tell him Will sent you. Yeah, you know, fame and fortune. I could go and tell them, hey, Tucker Gott sent me, and they'd be like, who's that? Because, yeah, they work in small circles. Maybe a famous movie star or something, maybe, might get you 2% pull, if you're lucky. I doubt, yeah. There's, like I said, like she said, we can't even talk to the underwriter. We can't tell them, hey, this letter was signed in mistake. They just won't do it, which I think is ridiculous. If you do a confession and then you go before the judge and say, I was under duress, yeah, you can retract that. How come we can't retract that?
Yeah, so like our biggest hurdle at this point in time is if what he says is correct about getting the cash to close down to a manageable level, right? Like I said, even best case scenario where all we have to come up with is the 3.5%. Okay. What are we?
No, the heat was set to like 60 degrees to Millen. It's
Yeah.
probably not even going to come on.
Yeah, nobody's there. It's empty. So, and the sellers live out in the middle of fucking nowhere. They're not driving all the way back here just to turn the heat up. What was I saying? Oh yeah, best case scenario, we still need to figure out how we're going to pay for our furniture that we want, and for the furniture and stuff can wait because we're skipping April's payment, right? So I don't have to make a payment in April to anybody. We can buy the furniture then. But I still need money to move. I still need to pay to have this place professionally cleaned. And at this point, the only way I can do that is if I don't pay anything on the 15th and I get behind on all our utility bills, which I don't want to do. That's the only way to make it happen. It went from very comfortable and very smooth to all of a sudden no. Everything's tracked, every fucking penny.
Yeah. It's giving me the biggest headache just trying to.
It's giving you a headache. I'm the one that has to explain all this to you so you understand it. On top of dealing with it.
Yeah, whether or not that, it just doesn't. It doesn't make sense at all. It's way too much of a headache trying to close on a damn house that they screwed up. I mean, this could have been done. On the 1st, we could have been out of here already, or moving stuff at this point, which I was still going to try to do the show, but I would have moved everything but my desk, probably. But now I was like, why even bother?
Yeah, I don't. So I guess we're going to keep ourselves busy. Tomorrow I plan on going through the hall closets out there and pulling out all the sheets and stuff for Katie to come get. I need to take a broom and sweep up all the remaining crap in the kids' and Katie's bedrooms into a pile and go through that and toss it all out, and then spray the rooms down with like Dawn and carpet shampoo, the walls and everything.
Tony, you can only do the RV lifestyle if you won the lottery or something and you have a lot of money to just blow, because it costs way too much money to even drive an RV around, as much as gas is. Not to mention wherever you camp at, you got to pay for camping expenses and all that. Yeah, and then because you have no job, obviously, if you're working out of an RV, unless you strictly can work from the RV. I work mobily.
Yeah, and CDC, even if we can't spend any money, Yeah. We can't put anything on credit, so anything we spend has to be cash. Yeah. So we can't sign up for a storage unit right now. Just not to mention all of this shit would have to be packed. We'd have to rent a truck to get it to the storage unit and then rent another truck to move it. It's too much. It's too much. So the only thing I can do is start sorting now that we've got empty rooms and get them as clean as I can. The less time the professional cleaners have to be here, the less it'll cost. So I can clean the empty rooms now and get all that shit done and go through the closets and split the sheets and blankets and all that crap up.
I mean, normally that would be a good idea. Just go ahead and get a storage unit and we can go ahead and start throwing all our stuff in there. But no, what if we did all that and then the deal on the house falls through? We got a storage shed for nothing, and we have to move everything back over into this house or wherever we decide to go.
I have a carpet shampooer, Dolores. But the lease says I have to have them cleaned professionally. So my plan is to soak the carpets down and scrub them with a push broom and then shampoo them already to get them clean enough, and then have somebody come in here and just clean them professionally, so they're not going to have to scrub out stains and shit. I just need them to clean them professionally.
The joy of home ownership. Yeah, we don't know that joy right now.
I don't know how well the video will show.
Yeah, the weird thing about the daughter's apartment is the washer and dryer's in the master bedroom. I don't know what
if I send it to you on Messenger, can you share it?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. You could share it too, but all right, let me see what it looks like before I share it. I don't want to just share anything.
I watched the video, it's fine.
Let's see if I can get all right, let me back it up.
Breeze, I know people. I might be able to get somebody to just send me a fucking receipt. You never know.
Let's see if this works. All right. Hopefully they can see this. I can back it up a couple, 1 second there.
Yeah, all we see is the background.
Oh, their bedroom's kind of big. I like that.
You're sharing it in Zoom, but nobody can see it on the screen.
Really?
Really?
Oh, okay. Hold on. That should have showed. Oh, I'm sharing it in Zoom.
Yes.
I see what I did wrong. Hold on. I know what I did wrong because I'm a dodo. Hold on a second. Why'd I share it in Zoom? All right, let me go to here and add a capture. It's a window capture, yes.
So apparently Verizon's coming back out tomorrow to help Katie hook up their cable because she's an idiot. She even drugged the maintenance guy in the house to try to figure it out.
Okay, hopefully they can see this now.
We'd never make it out alive, Tony.
I don't know why it looks like that, but that's fine.
There we go. All right. I mean, it's not playing. Did you hit play?
It's playing now.
It's not playing now.
I see it playing.
Oh, there it is. Okay. They don't have lamps and stuff yet, so it's kind of dark. And yes, their washer and dryer is in their bedroom. But that's a fairly big bedroom.
So why did all the kids go into mom and dad's room instead of their own room?
I don't know that they did.
Wow, it is dark.
Yeah.
I can't see anything in there.
So they just kind of yeeted everything right into the bedrooms.
They didn't, well, she could have turned the iPad sideways and got a bigger screen.
Yeah, she's got vertical video syndrome.
Where'd she get all that toilet paper from? Stole it from us. Are we back at the beginning? No. Yes, this is back at the beginning. Okay. All right, let me remove that now. There we go.
Yeah. So I mean, they didn't do too bad. I'm actually the one that found the apartment. Just looking around, I was like, oh, that seems like a decent price. It's not in a bad area. The kids can go out and play. There's a park right across the street from their unit. There's a
Yeah.
fully stocked lake they can go fishing in. Um, so yeah, it's a safe neighborhood for them to run around in.
Whatever Scuba talks about PPG, you got to take a shot. Wow. You know what I couldn't find was my helmet. I looked everywhere and I was like, where the hell is my freaking paramotor helmet? But, I mean, it's black, so it's kind of hard. It was in this case, and somehow it got put inside this cabinet behind me, and you see how black, look how that matches. So it was in the bottom behind some boxes that I already had packed up, ready to go. So I couldn't find the damn. I'm like, even if I wanted to fly, tie it to my paramotor, that's probably a good idea.
Well, it should be in his truck. DeMille and the washer and dryer are in their bedroom on opposite walls.
So I don't know what helmet that Will Fly's got. Let's see what we.
Those are older apartments, so the only thing I can assume is that at one time they did not have washer and dryers, and since everybody wanted them, they kind of put them where they could. So the dryer's on the outside wall, so it vents directly outside, and the washer is up against the wall where the water connections are. So
there's the helmet.
It has one. She's happier having to wash clothes in her bedroom than if she had to actually leave her apartment and go to a shared laundry room or something like that. So, and this is the part that makes her very happy. Her water or her utility bill is $60 a month. That's added to her rent. That covers water, sewer, trash, all that. She does a lot of laundry.
She does.
Yeah. She's definitely going to get her $60 worth. Hey, John Q.
It's still kind of it's been raining here all day. It's supposed to rain at 1 a.m. I don't know why the stupid Echo had to tell me that it was going to rain at 1 a.m.
Because she asked me something at work one day and I agreed to it because I wasn't paying attention to what she was saying.
It just told me it might rain tonight. There's a 51% chance at 1 a.m. I'll be asleep, hopefully.
That's my fault because I wasn't listening to her and just agreed to whatever she was yapping on about.
Oh. You watched. Yeah, I like that that Will had a video and he was saying, what's one thing you would suggest to new paramotor pilots? And I think they covered most of the Icaro. I think that most of the stuff they covered, I can't think of anything else I would add to that. It was pretty good. I mean, don't start it on the ground, on your back or on a rack. That's it. It rhymes, and you don't want to chop your hands off trying to start that motor. So yeah, I completely agree with that. Not jumping in your seat too early. That's a big thing that a lot of new pilots do, jumping in the seat too early. And I still see people doing it now. It's like, man.
Well, just like you said, you didn't jump in your seat.
Well,
you kind of got scooped up in it.
Yeah, that was because I think my leg straps was a little tight. So as the wing started to pull up, it kind of pulled on my harness and it scooped me. So you have to be careful. You want your hand to be able to fit through your leg straps nice and easy, but not like really loose. And you don't want it so tight that when your wing does start to pick you up, that it just yanks you into your seat. So you want that little bit of clearance. That way, as soon as you do take off, you can pretty much lift your legs up and you're in your seat. That's the way you want it. Hey, what's up, Mick?
Dolores wants to know if you're going to build or make juice tonight.
I need to make juice.
That reminds me, I need to go make juice.
I will build. I do need to build. Because this Misun has it really needs to be rebuilt, I think. And I may even find some more mesh for it and redo it because I like, I've done the mesh deck though. I want to see if I can get it to vape good using one of the other decks besides the mesh deck. The mesh deck works great in it. but I haven't messed with the other decks enough to know if it's gonna be as good yet or not. There's a single coil deck, and then I also have a dual coil deck for this thing that I think I put in the box. Yep, it's down in here. So we can go either route. The dual coil, all of them already have coils in it, so it's like, pick one. Wait, is this the same? Oh, this single coil deck is not for this, but it sure looks like it. This deck does not fit the Maison. My bad. I had it mixed up with it. But this deck does, which has 2 coils in it right now. I just couldn't get a good vape out of it last time, and I was like, why is it doing that? Why did I vape that again? It is out of juice. I'm vaping the wrong mod. Bad Scuba, bad Scuba. All right, let's go to the build cam. Let's just do. All right. So what do we have here? So we have the adapter. This adapter is a great little addition that they threw in the kit so that you can actually screw this onto something and you have a 510 connection. That way you can actually check your ohms to see what's going on with this thing. So you get a mod and then you can throw this on here and then pre-fire everything without having to go and figure, oh, is this working? So yeah, 0.23, that's perfect. So let's get this fired up a little bit. Where's all my mini tweezers? I'm gonna keep warming this up until it all turns nice and red. I don't want any of that charcoal looking stuff on here. And you definitely want it to glow from the inside out. If it's glowing from the outside in, that's reverse of what you want. You want the inside out every time. And nice smooth glow. You don't want any like really bright spots in any of the coils. If you have that, then you need to rake on this thing to get the hot spots out. So just like that, nice and smooth from the inside out. I could make something like this for a paramotor and blow smoke out. I could have a smoke system. Then we're going to grab some cotton. This piece of cotton right here is probably, why is my camera not doing what it's supposed to do?
DeMillan wants to know why not just have space coils and no hotspots.
Space coils does help a lot with hotspots. You're right, DeMillan. But there's not a lot of, ow, Jesus, that's still hot. There's not a lot of space on this deck.
Did you just touch it?
I wasn't trying to touch it, but
I'm seeing you. You are definitely trying to touch it.
Look, I don't have any fingernails because of this stupid closing thing. I bit all my fingernails off.
It has nothing to do with closing. You bite your nails anyway.
It's got everything to do with closing, man.
Bella's chewing on her ass and you're gnawing your fingers down to stumps.
Well, so I'm cutting this cotton right down the center. This should be perfect for 3mm coils. Have I closed? Mick, you should have been here earlier. We are not going through that damn long ass story again. No, we have not closed. We're trying. But some people.
Long story short, our letter fucked up, cost me $3,000, and he is.
There you go.
Going to fix it or else.
Yes, our lender messed up. That's the easy way to put it.
I like my version better.
So your cotton, you want to be able to slide back and forth easily, but not too easy. You want some resistance there. That way that coils.
I would prefer nobody's chewing on anybody's ass, really dire thing. But I mean.
Well, there you go.
We had to switch loan programs, John Q, because my lender fucked up. So now it's got to go all the way back through underwriting. Yay.
There we go. Nice and easy back and forth, where you have to give it a little bit of a tug, but not much. But and it still can go back and
Tired
forth.
thinks, where is IRS with his book? I know, right?
So the way this juice comes in here, it comes in and flows from this channel down here back up in. Let me see if I can show you all this. The juice comes in from the side right here and then goes under this up to your wick right here in this hole. So this needs to come down enough to where it can actually pick up from this well right here to get juice. So you want to make sure that it can get that low. So I kind of mark where that place is, and then that's where I'm going to cut it. So right here, I know that that's going to reach, especially once you strum this out, it's going to reach down to the bottom of that. Same case here. I want that to go there, and I'm going to cut it right there. Boom. Good to go. So now all that spot where I cut it has pushed all these fibers together. You can see that line, that white line there. So you have to strum this out. I'm just basically getting all that pushed cotton that got squunched up together and threading that out.
You know what would make me happy?
What's that?
If you buy me a baby skunk. Or you don't have to
Are
buy
you
it.
kidding me?
Locate a baby skunk for me.
I guess I'm going out in the woods then. If you want me to find I'm floofing there you go. I'm floofing the cotton, Mick. Gotta floof it. And then I'm gonna just tuck this down in that wicking slot by pushing it back.
I'm watching a video of a little baby skunk that is trying his very best to look intimidating until he got belly scratches and apparently belly rubs are his kryptonite. I know I don't need a skunk. I want one.
Yeah, she's acting like, oh, if I get a skunk, that'll fix all my problems. No, it will not.
I didn't say it would fix my problems. I said it would make me happy.
For about 5 minutes till they go, guess what? Your loan didn't go through.
I have no doubt that the loan's going to go through. It's if he can get it to where we actually have the fucking money. You know,
that's kind of an important part of it.
Yeah, that's the important part. I don't doubt that our loan's going to get approved. I know that's going to happen. That will. It's just a matter of if they can get the financials correct. Jamilin said that's too much cotton, Scuba.
That is
baby hedgehog eating. My sister had a baby hedgehog.
Well, let me check this, Jamilin. This one is a little tight. Yeah. Let me thin this down a little bit more. I don't remember the other side being this tight. Let's go back and thin it down some more then. Last time I'm pretty sure that I did have too much cotton, so I'd rather reduce it anyway.
So she did not come get Frank and shit today? I thought she did.
Yes, she did.
Because she said I still need to come back and get the animals tomorrow.
That's what the kids said that they were doing when she walked upstairs. What the hell did they do when they came here? Nothing?
I don't know.
I don't know what they did. They came here and Lily was literally going, I got to go upstairs and get the pets.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow. So I have no idea what they did when they came here then. Nope, there's too much cotton on the bottom end right there. I see it. You shall be gone. There we go.
Well, at least it's better than Old Navy. They wouldn't have lasted you 8 months.
I'm gonna have
Yes,
to go
Mick.
upstairs
Moved
to
out
get
this
that.
morning.
I'm gonna have to go upstairs and get the juice though.
It is very quiet, DeMillan, and I am going to miss Junior busting in here like the Kool-Aid Man and saying hi, Nana, and raiding our snacks and climbing up on the bed and scrolling through TikTok.
Yeah, he does like doing
It's
it.
odd what a toddler finds amusing on TikTok. He found one of his mother's own videos, right, and was like, "Mommy, Mama, look," and showed her, and then watched it a couple times, and then just flicked it away with his thumb. On to the next. He likes looking for cat videos and stuff. The locusts aren't here, so they can't be buzzing. They moved out this morning. You missed it. We showed their apartment. Because I got a candle burning. The locusts did leave a wave of destruction in their wake, though. They left all kinds of crap behind. I mean, the girls' room has like some drawers to a dresser and a baby doll. That's pretty much it.
So I have to make more Nilla nuts tomorrow, but right now we're gonna be milk of the poppy. Milk
I'll
of the
definitely
poppy.
get used to it, Mick. That shit's gonna kill your coils.
Well, it's fine. I mean, I'm trying something new on
Okay.
this, so it doesn't matter really. I'm just hoping that it wicks okay. Let's see if it gets juice from down here.
No, I found them in an apartment and they liked it, so they called and they had 2 left. And she went down there to pick up the application and somebody put a deposit on the other one. So she called Patrick and he left work and they came down and put their money down, and what was it, Monday or Tuesday they heard that they were approved. They picked up their keys this morning. They had everybody over packing their U-Haul last night, so they left here at 8:15 to head over there and pick up their keys and move in.
Yes. I'm glad. Milk of the poppy is kind of like a strawberry milk cream.
It tastes like Sucker Punch from Suicide Bunny.
Well, there you go.
It's strawberries and dragon fruit. I'm pretty sure that's not what heroin tastes like, but
Let's
I don't
make
know.
sure that we
Alright.
get this properly burned in here.
You're welcome, Deja. I mean, it's really good, but it'll gunk the shit out of your
Yeah,
coils.
it will gunk up your coils. I mean, this is straight up. That's what's in there right now, though, so I don't have to like change the flavor out.
And
so
I thought poppies is where you got opium from, not heroin. I don't know.
So we're going to take the one that I have in there now, which I do have this blue cover back on here because the other one is actually missing one
Right,
of
Tony?
one of these magnets, so it doesn't hold this in here very well. And you can see it's almost out of juice right now anyway. All right, let's see what it's going to look like up under here, how wet it actually is.
Okay, Creed. I didn't know that.
Yep, there's a little bit of condensation back there, which it's always been, just not a whole lot. I don't know why it's a big glob right there in that corner, though. I did drop this a couple times now, don't get me wrong. I have dropped this mod.
That little SX mini thing, the condensation builds up so bad, it seems like a leak when I pull the pieces apart and the whole inside sleeve is just soaked in juice. That doesn't seem like condensation to me, but
So the good thing about this is I can just pop this bottom piece off and we're off to the races. So there's the one that was in it. You can see how dark that mesh looks right now. It looks like a black crusty critter. Reminds me of burnt ends, which I like burnt ends, when they're cooked.
I mean, I've got experience with narcotics too, just not opium and heroin. So I was not aware they came from the same thing.
All right, let's see if we can get this on here without making a big giant mess. There we go. She is together. Now let's get, I hate these rubber stupid plungers. Okay. long as you got some nice tweezers, you can take care of that real quick. Hopefully I'm not going to put too much juice in here and then it decides to leak, you know what I mean? It's a little over halfway. This is almost actually
I mean, Beaver Art might pop in to say hi to you, but they don't have internet right at the moment because they don't have the right kind of plug-in, so they got to wait for Verizon to come back.
Their OPT is not hooked up. ONT, my bad. Optical Network Terminal. They went with Verizon. If they would have just used cable, they'd be fine right now. So I'm showing 0.34 right now. I think that's going to change, but we're good to go. We're at 50 watts at 0.34. We're going to see if this vape's okay and if it tastes as good as the mesh, which I doubt, but
see, the one we have has dragon fruit in it and no culotta, so I don't
that's not bad. It actually
You got any meth? No meth. Someone said, yo,
Chris?
Scuba.
This vape's okay, but it literally tastes like it's not firing hot enough. So let's go up on the wattage some.
I'll be right back.
I vape these coils at 75 watts anyway, so 50 is a little low. Want the name of a song? Want that the name of a song? What? Okay. Now I got to find a happy medium. That almost seemed like it wasn't burnt, but it felt almost too hot, if that makes sense. Okay, the ohm is 0.30 now. If I can get it to show up at 0.2 something, then we'll be in good shape. So sitting here playing around with it sometimes will work out. Still showing 0.3 though. If it was a new coil I was putting in here, I would play around with it for a while, but since these coils are already installed in there, it's no. It's not changing. 0.3. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. ONT. What did I call it before? It's a ONT, Optical Network Terminal. It's basically a black box that they use to run fiber optics through. It's very similar to a modem or a cable modem, but when you're using fiber optics, they use a ONT. As soon as your rumble stocks explode. Okay, well, there you go. Well, hello, Becca. This is actually not bad. I'm kind of impressed. I thought that the mesh was way better, but this is not vaping bad at all. I had to go up 5 watts, but that's not a big difference considering the mesh is one coil. I mean, it's one big coil, but this is dual coil, and it's actually giving me just about the same flavor from what I can tell, and it's not even broke in that good.
That seems more like it, Dolores.
I'm definitely getting the strawberry and the sweetness and the cream out of this right now. It's still 0.30. It's bang on. Well, I'm going to hold my breath and wait for the $500,000 there, Chris.
There, I saved it.
Oh, you found Dolores found a recipe? I'm the generous type. We need
You
that
know-
money, Chris, as soon as possible so we can close on a house. Thank you very much.
You know what irritates me? And I don't even have any room to be irritated, right? But I am. I know several people that have been blessed of recently for various different reasons.
Yeah.
Several people that I have helped considerably throughout their lives who are
No.
aware of what's been going on.
I never expect anything in return when I help. I never, ever expect
That's not why I help people. But my point being is that I have.
Yeah.
Considerably. And yet all I get is, oh, that sucks. Yeah. And I'm like, really? I just, I don't. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know with the situation you're talking about, they're getting a lot of money, but you got to think of what they went through to get that money too. But yeah, it's going to be more money than they can probably spend in a lifetime. But there you go. It'll be family first. That's the way that works.
That's one of the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I just, I don't. I never help anybody with the expectation that I'm going to be repaid because it's not tit for tat. That's not what I'm.
Right.
That's not what I'm about. But you would think at some point in time, somebody besides my fucking boss would be like, you know what? You've done a lot for me. Let me offer. Is there anything I can do to help you? Will this help? No. Just damn, that sucks. And then they go on about the business.
This is the thing, right? You just want the opportunity to turn them down. That's the thing. You're like, no, I appreciate the offer, but we're good. Thank you.
Yeah, but at this point, I wouldn't be turning it down. You know what I mean? If one of them stepped up and said, well, I can pay the cleaning fee for you. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would be like, you know what? That would be so fucking helpful and would take a huge weight off my mind.
At this point, I mean, it's not even worth trying to go, hey,
considered
guys.
Before I've left work before to bring your family food multiple times in a week and rearrange things and
this is the thing, right? How can we even say, hey,
maxed out my card to get somebody's car out of hot, there's things I've done that were detrimental to me to help someone else and it doesn't even occur to them to.
You're 29, Will. Now, Will did say,
Chris, I don't even know who you are. Should I know you? Do I know this person?
I'm not sure. I don't know who it is for sure. Will says he's 29, but yet he said on the show the other day he was older than all of us, which doesn't seem possible. If he is older than me, then he couldn't have had any kids or he would have gained some kind of weight. I think that goes hand in hand. But now then again,
I don't know. It depends on how good your kids turn out. Some of them will.
He's not older than me. With John Wayne, yeah, you and I are old as dirt, so you know. You're generally 33 this August. I'm 54, and I'll be 55 in August. It just makes a lot of failed launches keep the weight off. Will, that makes a lot of sense, honestly. It's like I told Munchkin. I was like, if and when we ever get this new house, there's a gigantic field. It's basically a school football field that I can go practice kiting at. That's how I'm going to get the weight off and be able to exercise and get ready for this spring. But it's like it's going to be spring by the time we get in the damn house. Good for you, Bill. Hell yeah. And still foot launching too, Bill. That's awesome, dude. You know, and it's so weird because you're 64 foot launching your ass off, and I'm 54 thinking about, damn, maybe I need a trike. But honestly, it's not my physical. How do you put that? I'm out of shape. That's the best way to say it.
Round
I'm
as
not
shit.
physically stopped from foot launching because of not having strength. I just don't have the stamina like I'm supposed to because I work from home and I'm not getting any exercise. When you do
Well, when
labor
we
jobs,
start hoofing up and down them damn stairs carrying boxes in.
you got to trike just in case. Bill, I think that's probably the smartest thing you could have done. You don't want to, like, say you foot launch all the time, and then one day you go, man, I just can't carry
Welcome
this
back,
motor
Donald.
around anymore. Well, guess what? You got a trike, so you can just throw that son of a gun on a trike and you're good to go. I just think the whole convenience of having a trike is great, but I do like the fact that I didn't want a trike that was only a trike. I wanted a trike that I can bolt to my paramotor and take off, and if I want a foot launch, I can take off a few screws and boom, I'm foot launching again. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Because if you're stuck to only doing a trike, then you miss out the benefits you get from foot launching. There's not a hell of a lot of difference, but you do feel a little more free, I would think, foot launching over a trike.
Right? Nick said we'll get going when you get your own plus, because we'll have a mortgage and won't be able to afford to eat. Actually, you know what? Our problem here, Mick, is the fact that we were living with a family of 5, right? So whenever I would get home from work, she was already in the kitchen. So then I'd come upstairs and get changed and do whatever. And by the time she was finished, I didn't have it in me anymore to go downstairs and clean the kitchen before I started work, or before I started cooking, because I cannot cook in a dirty kitchen. I just can't do it.
Yeah, John's
Our
got a truck, too.
refrigerator. We couldn't keep food in our own refrigerator because the children that would eat it, or Patrick would not realize it's not something they bought and he would eat it, or Katie would not go, okay, this isn't my ground beef, and she would cook it. So
that's happened way too many times. Like my coffee creamer, boom, gone. And then Patrick, she asked Patrick about the coffee creamer. Oh, I'm drinking black coffee today. Really? Because I literally checked the coffee creamer the night before and I had creamer. I was like, okay.
It may not have been Patrick. It could have been the kids adding coffee creamer to make flavored milk. You remember when I was their age, I was making myself White Russians. I had no idea that Kahlua was booze. So I would make myself a hot toddy every night while I did the dishes. Mom thought my dad was drinking the Kahlua all the time.
Coffee break. Will, I'd love to meet you at Bad Apples, but this is the problem. There's 2 reasons why that's a bad idea. Number 1, it's far as hell. Number 2, there's actually probably more than 2 reasons. Number 2, it's the same time that there's a fly-in, literally 45 minutes away from me, called Spring Wing. It's the exact same time as Bad Apples. And number 3, flying in a gigantic fly-in like that and seeing videos where that one guy just basically caused the other guy to cry, that scares me, especially since they're not banning that guy from fly-ins. And I know y'all haven't seen the video.
Reminds me of why that chick in Georgia, when we were down there and you flew with Bill, why that one lady, as soon as she took off, she went away from everybody else.
Yeah, I think her name was Susan. She's like,
I remember,
I don't like flying near people. When she takes off, she gets the hell on. And
that was with
her.
A group of people that she knew. You know, when you're at something like that, you don't know who these yahoos are.
Well, Chris, I hope you're doing well.
That shit ain't no joke. Both my kids, well, okay, my daughter and her husband had issues with that. My niece still does. My nephew still does. I mean, he's in treatment right now, but that doesn't really seem to be that much better.
I mean, that's the thing, Will. You know as well as I do that guy that caused that crash is like, he's probably going to be at Bad Apples. It would not be a good day if he caused me to crash. I'm telling you right now. I think the guy that we had on the show, I can't remember his name, did an awesome job at restraining himself. I don't care how old I am. There would be a lot of adrenaline pumping through my veins at that point because
You'd
he
have to
almost
pull
killed
me
me.
off his dumb ass first.
So I wouldn't have to do
I
nothing.
have a lot of pent up aggression.
Yeah, Cole,
lot.
thanks, Will. Yeah.
The next person that pisses me off when my fuse goes is in for a world of hurt. I'm just saying.
As long as you don't have a bird strike. Well, Dom Long, the good thing about our paramotors,
Usually birds stay the hell away from you.
Our paramotors have a net in front of the prop. That's going to stop most of the birds. I've yet to see a bird fly from behind a paramotor into the prop because that prop is blowing so hard it just blow the bird off.
So. Y'all are also very loud too, so birds are not going to voluntarily hang around you.
70 milligrams. And Angela, anytime you want to start vaping, you can do it. You just, and I'll be honest with you, I smoked 32 years. It's really in the mind. There's a lot of mind to do with it. If you go, hey, I want to quit smoking, but I need something to counteract that or replace it, then vaping's for you. You can do that. I really didn't even have good for you, Bill. Hell yeah. I didn't really know for a fact when I started vaping that was going to get me off cigarettes completely. I thought it would help, but I thought that I was so addicted to cigarettes I'd never be able to stop. And somehow it's like when I started vaping, I was at that, I want a cigarette, but I was like, I want a cigarette, but I think I can probably go another hour without a cigarette. And that hour turned into 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. And I never did smoke. And I was done. It just happens. It's so weird that you go, I really don't have to have one. And once you get through that first initial 3-day period, which it takes at least 3 days to flush that nicotine out of your system, that's the hardest part, is the first 3 days. After that, it starts calming down a little bit. You're still going to want to smoke like when you smell cigarette smoke, but after you've been vaping for a while, I'd say, 10 months to a year, that starts to go away. Then it turns into, oh my God, that smells terrible. Then that turns into, it smells bad, but it doesn't bother me anymore. And that's where I'm at now. So it's kind of like, yeah.
The only reason I started vaping is because it was wintertime and I didn't smoke in my house, right? So
nice, Becca.
I just got a new video game and didn't feel like pausing to go outside, freeze my ass off, and smoke a cigarette. So literally, the only reason I started vaping is because I was fucking lazy and cold and wanted to hang out on my couch and vape. And it took 6 months before I decided that smoking was gross. And it tasted nasty.
Creed, I don't even know
anything like cinnamon rolls.
I don't know how you can smoke 4 packs of cigarettes a day. That is literally chain smoking. Yep. That's smoking more cigarettes than there is hours in the day, obviously. There's 20 cigarettes in a pack. That's 80 cigarettes. So that's how many an hour? That's it depends on how many hours you're awake, obviously, but damn, that's like chain smoking like crazy. You've done it, Dom Long? Man, I feel for you guys. That chain smoking stuff. I knew a lady that was like that. She literally would be smoking a cigarette and light the next cigarette with the one she was currently smoking. and just sit it in the ashtray. And then when that one got low, she'd pick it up and keep going. Now, this was before they added that damn chemical to cigarettes that make them go out when you stop smoking them. But yeah, I was like, wow, I don't know how.
Well, when I was drinking, I would chain smoke, but that was more a lot because I was running my mouth 90% of the time and forgot to actually smoke my cigarette. So, I was basically just walking around with it in my hand. But I did smoke. I could go through.
Deja, yeah, there's people, yeah. Nilla Nuts, obviously, if you like that custardy type vanilla, then Nilla Nuts obviously is a great vape to use for your all day vape. That's what I do. Some people are more into fruits and stuff. There's lots of fruits that you can have. Some people like cereals. I mean, you can switch up. Some people like tobaccos. I did not want to go the tobacco route because it would remind me too much of smoking. I was trying to do the opposite of that. But now I will say though that one of the first flavors I vaped when I quit was Dorky Stud, which is a very sweet tobacco, which you can't even buy anymore, and they won't give you the damn recipe. And now, Eddie made a really good sweet tobacco. It's not the same as Dorky Stud, but it's
called
damn
Scuba
good.
Stud. It's actually good. Now, see, I never stayed away from tobaccos because, okay, so my first tank that I got was plastic, and I got banana juice, and I didn't know any better and cracked 2 of them in rapid succession. And when I went to Google why that happened, because the people I bought it from had no idea, that's when I found ECF. I spent
ECF.
many hours, till 4 o'clock in the morning on ECF, just reading about stuff. And one of the things they said was the tobaccos are never, ever, ever going to taste like tobacco.
Ooh, John Q. His mom would smoke while eating. I don't think I could do that. I mean, I have kind of done it while I was snacking. Maybe I was eating a corn dog or something at a fair, and I'd be smoking, and I'll still eat the corn dog.
Yeah, I never did that.
That
was a surefire way to get your food to show up at a restaurant, though, when you used to be able to smoke inside, was to light a cigarette. And damn if they didn't bring your food immediately.
Yeah, I remember that too often. You go somewhere, you go out to eat, you sit down, you order your food, they're taking too long, and you go, damn, I need a cigarette. So you would step outside the restaurant to smoke. And while you're outside, they would bring your food. And you're like, dadgummit, you have to hurry up and put your cigarette out and go back in the restaurant. So yeah, I remember those days too. And I even do that vaping sometimes now, but it's not a necessity. I just do it probably out of a nervous habit. It's not like you have to vape. I just enjoy being able to. Whatever happened to incense sticks?
Hey, Katie's like, Dominion's going to send me a bill, right? Yes, they will.
Well, that's what Dolores does, Angela. Dolores is a link ninja.
Yeah, if you want it, she can find it.
She'll find. Yeah, I could barely even talk about it, and Dolores already has links for it in the show. She's on point with that stuff.
Yeah, and incense still exists. You just got to go find a hippie shop.
This juice is actually vaping pretty good. Honestly, it's almost... I would like it a little wetter. The only way to make it a little wetter is to take even more wick out or drop the wattage, which I think I'd rather drop the wattage just a little bit.
Most of the tobacco vapes that you're going to find aren't going to taste like cigarettes. What they're going to taste like is pipe tobacco. So as long as you keep that in mind, you can find. I had a cherry tobacco. There's one that Plume Room makes that you still might be able to get. I think all they do is the tobaccos now, it's called Candied Cavendish, which is a banana tobacco, which is absolutely delicious. So yeah.
Y'all want to see mostly vape gear? Here, let me show y'all.
What are our setups tonight? We don't usually.
Oh, I can't get it. Hold on, I'll try.
We don't usually do a buffet, but
just those boxes are vape gear.
What the hell am I vaping on? I don't remember what this is.
For what?
Chris
Now
wants to
I've
know what
got.
our setups are.
Hold on a second. I'm messing up my camera here.
Yeah, you're just fucking shit up. Why are you trying to?
That's what I do. I mess it up. All right, hold on. Whoop.
This thing. I don't know what the fuck it is. I forgot the name of it.
The guar.
Yeah, a
Gower.
guar with a juggernaut.
There we
Kiki
go. I
Designs
think we're
juggernaut.
close to back right now. So all that over there is just mainly, I'd say most of it is vape gear. It's not all vape gear.
Thank you, Dolores. Yeah.
Oh, I definitely got more than that, Dom Long, but that's, I mean, hell, there's some right here on the desk. Here's a whole thing of our RTAs in one container. I got a lot of stuff on this desk.
Most of it is put away. We've emptied out the cabinet. He's emptied out his shelf. He needs to take all that shit down behind him off the boxes or off the shelves and the lights.
We have nowhere to take it to.
You can still take it down and put it in a box. There's no reason to wait until the fucking 0 hour.
I mean, I wanted to get this show over with, and then I'll start taking this down because it'll be in between shows, and it'll also be obviously 7 days from now would be Friday. It will be closing day, which will be weird, and may not even be able to do a show on that Friday. Unless I do it from a laptop or something. That's about the only way that may happen. That looks like that is too high. Now, I don't want to open the camera app to fix the camera, so we're just going to have to deal with it for right now. There we go. That's good.
Pull some Boreas out of that bucket. You need closing money.
There is a Boreas in that container.
If what he says he can do is true, then the closing money's not going to be the problem. It's going to be the moving and cleaning and furniture money that is going to put us in a pinch.
Before I would spend the money on the professional cleaning and stuff, we need to spend the money on the moving truck. Damn the cleaning. It can wait. They can be
it can't wait too long because she tells me that I got to schedule it like 2 weeks in advance to get on their books. And I need to clean this house before they do because the cleaner it is, the less amount of time they'll be here.
But the priority is getting the stuff moved over getting the house
Well, we can't get anything cleaned until we have the house empty. So there's not going to be one priority over the other. It's going to be a simultaneous type thing.
Yeah. There's so much stuff, and the kids did not take all their stuff.
She said she's coming back tomorrow to grab Frank and the spiders and clean up everything and
all this stuff on top of this cabinet
throw out the trash
is hers, except for that peroxide. All that's hers. So there's lots of stuff here that's still theirs. The bathrooms, I mean, there's still dirty clothes in their bathroom. She cleaned the bathroom.
She said she's coming to grab all that stuff.
Okay.
She did not clean the bathroom.
When will we find out about the closing? DeMillan, your guess is good as mine. It's in the underwriter's office now, and they're supposedly working on it all weekend. Well, I don't.
Yeah, they actually disclosed this evening. David thought they weren't going to be able to do that until Monday or Tuesday, but they disclosed tonight.
Shoot us a figure of what, Chris? How much money we got to bring to closing?
How much money we're going to need to move. It's going to be $1,000 for the chimney, the professional cleaning, and the carpet cleaning.
There you go. I mean, it's doable somehow. If we skip on other stuff, we're not going to be able to buy the stuff we need for the new house, but it'll get us moved. That's the thing. Yeah,
well, the truck rental, once we close, he can put that on his credit card. That's not too bad. Here's what I'm thinking, all right? So my initial thought was we'll get a U-Haul to get as much stuff over there as we can, and then just hire movers for the heavy shit.
Thanks, Dom Long.
But now I've decided that if the movers have a minimum, right, we'll get as much over as we can and then just say, okay, you just grab the rest of that. That is in US dollars, Chris.
We are in the U.S., Chris.
The security deposit is $12.50. I can't stall it as long as I can because
you think they'll give us the security deposit back? I've never seen a
I don't know.
landlord yet ever give back the security deposit.
If we do everything we're supposed to, I don't know. They might, because I'm going to be leaving a list. I'm going to be here when they do the inspection, and I'm going to hand them a list of everything we've done. That, you know, we've replaced both faucets and handles in both upstairs bathrooms. I replaced the vertical mini blinds. We've replaced all of the fucking outlets in the house, but like 3 of them. They've got a brand new ice maker for the refrigerator. We replaced the front door with a brand new screen door.
Oh, the help. There was nobody going to help us move anyway, Wally.
No, we still got Mitch to help us.
Everything that we need to move, we can probably do by ourselves, except for this desk.
Yeah.
It's very heavy, very heavy. I'm wondering if this desk comes apart, because if it does, then that would be easy. I don't think there's any way to take this desk apart. Besides the cabinet that's hooked to the side, that I've already got disconnected, so it'll slide out.
Oh, Lord, you got us on the big screen.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, but you can't type from the big screen, so you're typing from your phone and watching it on the big screen. Unless you're doing it with like an Xbox or something, then I think
we do have 2 men in the truck. That's who I'm talking about calling.
I do have a dolly, Dolores. It is in the garage.
Here's the problem is that desk has to weigh several hundred pounds. It took, what, 4 full-grown men plus me just to get that desk out of his house and over to the truck to put it on. There's no fucking way in cold hell we're getting it up the stairs to the house. And I'm just going to tell you right now, flat out, I'm not fucking doing it. I would just as soon roll the thing out in the front yard and set it on fire.
Munchkin's going to catch my desk on fire, y'all. Now I'll be honest with you guys. I have looked at other desks just because
I don't know, Chris.
They're lighter, and this
we have to close by the 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, we don't have a choice, but
MDF.
It's not solid wood. Yeah, that's
this is MDF. That's why it's so freaking heavy.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to figure out a way to do this. It's just not gonna be in the timeline that I wanted to do it, and
that's the best way to do it, John Q.
Switching loan programs has just completely fucked everything.
That's why it's so weighty. Yeah, and it's not just MDF. It's like 1.5 inches thick MDF. My desk is at least that thick.
It's heavy.
It is very solid. A solid wood desk would cost $4,000. Yeah, this one's made by one of those big companies, and I'd have to take everything out of the drawers to find it.
Yeah, and if you would have told me back then that you got it for free, it wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, I did, and then I was like, ooh, this is a good brand name. And now I don't know where the tag is on the side of it, but it's not Herman Miller, but it's something like that. The same company that make those really high dollar wooden cribs, baby cribs, I think.
Yeah, burn the witch. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice desk. It's solid, but damn, I am not looking forward to moving it at all.
No, Slappy, Herman Miller. Have you not heard of Herman Miller?
Monster.
Holy moly. I worked for Herman. Oh my God, I can't even say it. I worked for Herman Miller for probably about 8 months. Building.
Chris, You
All
do not
this.
have to do that, but at this point, I'm so stressed out. I'm not going to turn down any help we can get. I'm just not. Good night, John.
See you, John Wayne. Be safe out there, man, while you're flying. Yeah, I don't want anybody to send any money. We're going to see if what goes down. We still don't know, guys. We're still in the dark at this point, trying to figure out when we close, how much money do we bring?
Yeah, he can't
I
start
have
going in
no
there and
idea.
making adjustments until it comes out of underwriting.
I haven't. Yeah, I can't spend any money because it's all tied up, waiting on the loan approval. And it's just like, damn, we've just been sitting in limbo and going to have to continue to sit that way until this house closes. It's just that simple. When we went over there to do the walkthrough on the house, the next door neighbors were looking at us like, who the hell are these people?
Your worst nightmare.
But Munchkin didn't look over, but I did. And it was the mom and the daughter. And the daughter may have been 14, skinny as a toothpick, but looking at us like we were crazy. Like, what in the hell are y'all doing at that house? Well. I did notice that they took the for sale sign out of the front yard. I never saw the under contract sign, but they took the for sale sign.
6.6, Chris. So not as great as it could be, but I've seen higher.
Yeah, I'd love to get the interest rate down to like 3%. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
That ain't happening anytime soon, anyway.
Yeah, we could have got a 3% interest rate, but Woody would have paid $275,000 for that house. So
Wow.
Yeah, that's the way I see it. Is we can always refinance when the rates go down, which they're projecting another increase before the summer. So that's not going to be anytime soon. But we can always refinance when the rates go down. We can't unspend $100,000.
Harry, it's funny that you say that because I already asked her sister because her sister just bought a house. I was like, is it haunted? She didn't say because her house, funny enough, her house is built newer than the one we're buying, but ours looks newer. I don't understand how that works. Her house is built in 72. Our house is built in 52.
It's not approved yet till it comes out of underwriting, Chris.
So.
But you forget who you talking to, babe. Me and my sister almost bought a cemetery. So
0.35 is probably perfect, Becca. That's actually a good range where you don't have to crank up your wattage so high to get a good vape out of it. At 0.35, you're probably going to be vaping around 50-ish watts. I would say between 40 and 50 at 0.35. And that's probably, it depends on how warm you like it though. But for me personally, if I'm at 0.35, that's matter of fact, I'm at 0.30 and I'm at 52 watts. So, and it depends on the device itself, but you can go by a range. I would say, to give it a better range, I would say 35 to 45, 50 watts is probably where you're going to end up being. That pump squonker, I mean, if it works great, hey, good for you. I would recommend any kind of squonker, if you let the juice sit in it overnight, usually it tastes bad the next day. I would clean it out every night and start over the next day, or at least get all the juice out of the pump part of it, and then put more juice in it the next day, just because of the way that it seems like the juice, the plastic from the pumper part leaches into the juice and makes it taste bad.
No, they don't charge extra for the bodies. Yeah, it was one of the oldest. Is it Park Lawn Cemetery in Rensselaer County, New York?
You're very welcome, Becca.
It is one of the oldest mausoleum cemeteries in the country. And it is most definitely fucking haunted. Every time me and my sister went to New York to visit my grandma and my aunt, we would go walk around the cemetery. And the last time we went, it was so overgrown that you couldn't, because the cemetery is a big circle, so you walk in straight and then you go in a big circle, and in the back was where they had all the mausoleums. But they were all overgrown. Trees had fallen down and crushed some of them, so just taking care of it and cutting the grass wouldn't have been enough. We would have had to fix some things, which we didn't have the money to do. Well, not to mention we all me, Gloria, and my sister were going to go buy a cemetery, but it was in New York. It's a little bit far to travel.
Why do you want to buy a cemetery?
Because we're weird, and it's a cool cemetery, and it wasn't being taken care of properly, and we wanted to restore it to its former glory and take care of all the dead people.
Okay.
But common sense reigned, and we realized that living in a completely different state than said cemetery would make it not feasible. So we didn't.
Yeah, Angela. Y'all couldn't even make it till 10 o'clock? Damn, that's sad. They're used to vape shows that are like 1 hour long. Sorry, I go at least 2 hours. At least. And we always have, and it's not like we ever just stop talking and just sit here and are bored.
Rensselaer County, Harry. Yeah, it's in the vicinity of Troy.
So I'm hoping by Monday we're going to hear something, because I'm thinking Munchkin's right. We'll probably close next Wednesday.
Hi, William.
Guessing. Hello, William. I think. Good night, Bill. Do all the paramotor people fall asleep at the same time? Will's next.
I think Wednesday is pushing it. Everything we've seen says Friday. I think they're saying Friday just to give everybody worst case scenario. Since they disclosed, said I'm still here. Since they disclosed today, technically we could close as early as Wednesday if it gets out of underwriting and we get the clear.
Oh, because they disclosed it, they have to wait 3 days. You can't like close Monday because.
No.
I got you. There's Will.
Still here too.
Good for you for staying awake, Will. I know you already had you probably ate dinner about an hour and almost 2 hours ago.
Like I said, all lenders are a little different. So the VHGA was a different lender. FHA is a different lender. Our broker's still the same, but it's a different lender. So it's possible if they bend the rules.
Do you see Slappy's stupid joke?
I did say Slappy, yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's I'll tell you what, guys. If you're ever buying a house and they say anything about a gift letter, don't do it.
Ask a lot of questions before you sign it.
Yeah, ask a ton of questions. And you know,
I didn't even listen to my own advice, because I've always told everybody, if they ever tell you you're closing on X date, no, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not. Don't count on that. Which, again, it wouldn't bother me if the date got pushed. That bothers me with the program change and what that does to my planned finances. I am a control freak. I like to have shit planned out in advance. I want to know what the plan is and how it's going to work, and they are not allowing me to do that.
Scott would ask.
Scott, what we were doing was an FHA first with a VHDA second. So the VHDA second was going to pay our down payment. So we were going to get $7,000 for the second. Now we'd have an extra mortgage payment. It'd only be like $42 a month, but they pay part of your closing costs. So we would have gotten $7,000 to pay towards what we had to bring in. So that would have had us bringing to the table less than $5,000, which would have left me about $1,500 left in my cash on hand to pay for the moving expenses. And then my bonus that I have coming on the 15th would have been the rest of the money we needed to pay cash for the 3 large pieces of furniture that we need for the house. And we would have been done. Everything would have been paid in cash. We wouldn't have had to put anything on a credit card. Now that we have switched programs, that's changed.
Yeah, with FHA, you have to bring 3.5% of the house's value to closing, plus
Less
whatever
what
other
you've
fees.
prepaid.
Huh?
So less your EMD. So yeah.
Yeah, less. The EMD is always low anyway, unless you just decided to do a
Doesn't have to be, but
$50,000
yeah.
EMD. You know,
Yeah.
it's just an earnest money deposit. If y'all don't know what
Yeah.
EMD is.
Yeah. So that the program change has flipped the script on me, and I don't like it because I still don't know what's going to happen. I still don't know what I need to bring. It's given me a whole new appreciation for all my poor clients that call me a week before closing and go, I still don't know how much money I need to bring. And I'm like, it's fine. I'm so sorry to all of you for being so blasé about it. Now I understand why you were freaking the fuck out.
Scott, I wished his house was only 69,000, but
Yeah.
that's not the case.
No.
Yeah, I looked at, if you look at how much money you'll pay over a 30-year loan, we will end up paying half a $500,000 for this house.
I told you not to look at that page.
But it's the truth. It's how much you end up paying over 30 years for the house.
I am my real
$500,000.
estate lawyer. I'm not charging myself shit. And it's still high.
Didn't he say bring all the money? Yeah. I mean, you know, if you do a 15-year loan, you're going to pay the house off a lot earlier, but it's going to cost a lot more money per month.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more money per month. So most people do 30-year loans.
Yep.
But when you get old like me, you're like, that's never getting paid for.
Well, that happens a lot when I do closings. When people see their last payment day, they're like, I'll be dead.
Right?
That'll be my kid's problem.
Yeah.
Well, that's one way to think about it.
Well, yeah. We got some wind coming our way. You know what, Will? That figures. I do not doubt it. Because by the time it warms up here, we're going to get some freaking 40-mile-an-hour wind. You know, I was thinking about what, was it?
No, Dolores.
Was it Bill or John? Oh, John, that said he had 80-mile-an-hour wind. Just think about that. The paramotor itself, with no wind, with nil wind, does about 23, 24 miles an hour. If you have an 80-mile-an-hour tailwind, you literally would be doing over 100 miles an hour on that wing, which I don't think wings are built to handle that kind of speed, and you would probably frontal collapse.
You are not old enough for a reverse mortgage, Slappy. And DeMillan, we are going to refinance as soon as I would say as soon as the rates drop below, I'd say 5 3/4. I'm going to refinance.
Sounds like fun. I don't think I want to go 100 miles an hour on a wing. I'm just saying, maybe in a plane, no problem. On a wing, no, thank you. You're gonna get 92 degrees.
I mean, you could do that, but it's gonna be really, really hard to get all that water out. So your juice is gonna be weird, and it's not gonna hit right for a while.
That's why you suggested I get a turbo motor with rocket assist. Really? It's this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell no, Scott. Don't refi that because it ain't gonna be that low for a long time.
The paramotor that's on your back, Honeycutt hit 100 on his motor. That's scary, Will. I mean, that's scary. What if the wing can't handle the 100? and you're already doing 100 miles an hour as you start to go towards the ground, which I think terminal
Well, Wally, I'm
velocity
sure E-Trade probably has higher qualifications, so I wouldn't be able to get approved.
is 100. Yeah, terminal velocity I think is 120 miles an hour for a person. So you literally wouldn't. You'd be hitting top speed in no time
I would just
towards the
either do
ground.
what Dolores said and use a ultrasonic cleaner, or just take it apart and wash everything in really hot water so it dries faster. Harry's got 2.5. See, yeah,
Thanks, Linda.
y'all are doing good with those interest rates.
No impact. Oh, no impact on the wing, really? I guess you're right, Will, because it is being pushed, but that's
Thank you,
just
Linda.
scary. I guess if it's laminar wind pushing you one direction, wouldn't be so bad. It still
Surprised
scared the
they
shit out of
didn't
me.
fall out of a building, John, because that seems to happen a lot to people in Russia. They just randomly fall out of windows.
The bad thing about what Will's talking about, say the wind's 80 miles an hour and you're doing 20, so it makes you do 100. That's going whatever direction the wind's going. When you want to come back, it ain't happening. Nope. You will turn around and the wind will literally push you backwards. You're not going to make it back to your LZ. You might as well find somewhere in front of you to land and then try to turn around.
You're
just going to be parked and try to go straight down to land, because that's about all you're going to get. Ground speed doesn't count. Well, it's right, Will. Yeah, if you're doing 100 miles an hour, when you turn around, you're not going anywhere.
Step backwards.
Yeah, backwards. What the hell? I wouldn't want to be going backwards on that wing. It's not meant to fly backwards. No, not doing it. Really, Dom Long. Okay, you got to think about this. 212 miles an hour in a
Damn
car
it, Slappy.
is fast. Think about. Okay, I'll put it this way. This is probably the best example I could think about.
Look, y'all, that motherfucker drank all my cookie dough whiskey.
Yeah, Will was there when I drank the cookie dough.
He needs to be slapped.
If you do 100 miles an hour in a car, it doesn't feel so bad, right? Do that
you're
same.
On the ground.
Wait,
where a person belongs.
Let me explain. If you do 100 miles an hour in a car, it's fast, but it's not so bad. Try doing that same 100 miles an hour on a go-kart. It's the same thing with a paramotor. So he's saying, oh, I did 212 in a car. Yeah, try doing that kind of speed on a paramotor. It's like you're shrinking the craft that you're in, and it will scare the ever-living crap out of you. Because I know I've been pretty fast on the go-kart, and it's scary. It's fun, really. It wasn't fun to me. I've been pretty fast on the go-kart, and I was so scared that thing was going to flip a million times. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Because my buddy had a racing go-kart, and it's scary fast.
Don't they have roll cages on them, though?
No roll cage. But it is really close to the ground. It's only like this high off the ground. And it's got a wide wheelbase, so you can drift with it, but you know it's still scary fast. All right, we're going to plan our next attack for House Buying 101, and I just want to try to explain that we don't know what's happening at this point. We're trying to figure out ourselves when we're going to be able to close. And but the 10th is the absolute deadline unless the sellers extend it. So we're hoping for next week some point. I will keep you posted in the Scuba's Hangout group. Make sure y'all check it out. I will let y'all know as soon as we get some news as to when we're supposed to close or if we got a clear to close. But you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe. Yeah. Watch out for all this wind that's coming. If you're a paramotor pilot, don't be trying to fly through that kind of wind. That is dangerous. There's always another day
for us.
You can fly the other day when it's nice winds. And
Oh, you didn't tell the paramotor people you got Kyle's socks because he fell down.
oh, I did. Will, this will be funny. You know, Kylo made a video and he posted it. He fell and hurt himself in his kitchen going down a step, hurt his back really bad. So I took the liberty of going on Amazon and buying Kylo Glee some non-slip socks. I sent him 4 pair of non-slip socks. And I asked him, did he
With the
get
little
them?
grippers on the bottom.
He did get them. So I forgot what his answer was. He said something about great or something. Oh, he said, "Oh my God, yes, dude." That's what he said. So
It's my idea. I thought it was a good idea.
yeah,
I thought it was amusing.
got him some "Don't Fall Down" socks. You guys have a great weekend. I'll keep you posted in the group. Thanks, Will, and everybody else for showing up. I know, right, Will? It's funny. Don't want him to fall. I was like, maybe this will keep you from slipping and falling, Kyle. So hopefully he doesn't get hurt. But yeah, you guys have a great weekend. Peace out, everybody.
Good night.
Doesn't she seem so happy? I'm just saying.